When I made the poll on my community post, everybody wanted me to share the shinkaafa recipe. Now, shinkaafa in Hausa language simply means rice. The name of this rice is called Gomba, locally grown in the northern part of Ghana. It is a brown rice, very nutritious and very delicious as well. I'm going to share this quick and easy recipe with you. Note, if you're living outside Ghana, you might not be able to find the exact rice. So you can find similar brown rice, but the taste is completely different. But if you don't have this one, you can substitute that as well, which is fine. Thank you so much to all my new subscribers. I know there's lots of you. Thank you so much for joining the family. I really appreciate it. And for my old subscribers, oh mine, thank you, and keep supporting the channel by liking all my videos. Let's go ahead over to the kitchen and let me introduce the ingredients to you. As always, I'll leave the ingredients list in the description box down below. We'll start off with the star of this recipe, the Gomba rice itself. This I brought from Ghana. As I said earlier, you can substitute with the brown rice you find outside Ghana, but the taste is completely different. I have 3 cups here. This is my last batch and I decided to film and show you how I usually make it. There's a lot of stones. It comes very dirty, so I'll show you ahead in the video how I clean it thoroughly and properly. And what is Gomba rice without your herrings? I mean your amani, smoked dried amani. It's a must. Additionally, you can use any other smoked fish you want, like mackerel, tuna. I'll need some tomatoes, some onions, some pepper, tomato paste. A must-have in this recipe is your Dawadawa. You can't prepare Gomba rice without your Dawadawa. Locally, during those days, they used to use shea butter to prepare this meal, but my mom uses the peanut oil or the groundnut oil. It is amazing. I love this. So you need your peanut oil, but if you can't get it, use any other oil. It's fine. I'll start off by washing my herrings and soaking it in some water, because you know the herrings is very dry. So after washing, you want to soak it in water. Now you can break them into pieces if you want, but I prefer mine whole. It's always best to have your ingredients prepped before you start cooking. So I'm going to chop my onions, my tomatoes, and my pepper and set it aside so that when I start cooking, it will be all quick and easy. Today's recipe is a no blender recipe. Everything is chopped. You don't need the blender today. To my pot, I'll add my peanut oil. Once it's hot, I'll add my onions and give it a stir for about a minute or so. Once it starts becoming translucent, I'll add my Dawadawa. I'll stir my Dawadawa until it dissolves in the oil and the onions. And you know, when you're cooking with Dawadawa, man, just open your window. Otherwise, you cannot receive visitors. After I cook my Dawadawa and onions for about a minute, I'll then go ahead and add my chopped tomatoes. Then I'll also add my tomato paste and then the chopped pepper. After I've cooked this down until it has begun to soften up, the vegetables have begun to soften up, I will then go ahead and add my soaked herrings. I'll add it all with the water because you know the water also contains some of the yumminess from the herrings, so I don't discard the water. I'll add everything to my stew. I'll continue to cook my stew until the water has absorbed. You can see now that the tomatoes and the onions are beginning to soften up, and the fish as well is also beginning to soften. After cooking for 10 minutes, I'll go ahead and add my seasoning cube. You can use any type of seasoning cube you want. I'm using the shrimp tablet. I'll go ahead and add about a teaspoon of my blended dry spice, which includes star anise, cloves, black peppercorns, and aniseed. Then some salt to taste. And I'll let the stew cook for another 10 to 15 minutes until all the vegetables are well cooked and the color has begun to turn brown. If you are enjoying this video, please make sure you hit on the like button because it's really helps my video. And if you're new here and you're not subscribed, please make sure you subscribe and don't forget to turn on the notification bell so that when I upload my next video, you'll be the first person to be notified. Once my stew has cooked for about 10 to 15 minutes, it's now time to add water. I added about 5 cups of water. And then I'll give it a taste to see if I need to adjust my salt or my seasoning. I'll cover it and then move on to my rice because washing the rice is also another job on its own. Now let me start doing my business right here. Because this rice is locally produced, it's usually peeled like on the floor. Although they put something on the floor, I believe it's some leaves. So it comes with a lot of stones and sand. So you really have to do a very good job cleaning it. And I'm going to try my best to show you how thorough I clean my rice. Now, it's always best to use the calabash, but if you don't have it, you can use any other bowl you want. But I like using the calabash because it helps to keep the sand or the stones on the bottom. Because when you use the plastic bowl or any other bowl, it's a bit slippery and you stand the chance of losing the stones back into your rice. So I try to use the calabash. So the technique is you swirl the calabash around and then you pour it in your palm. Check quickly if you can see any stone and then repeat the process. I don't know if I'm explaining it right, but I hope I am. But just look at the technique and maybe you can pick it up. The good thing is once you swirl it around, the sand settles on the bottom. So chances are the ones on top do not have the sand or the stones. When it starts getting to the bottom, you have to do it carefully and gradually so you make sure you don't miss any stone. You can see I'm already picking some of the stones from the ones in my palm. Can you see the amount of stones that was in the rice? Yes. Usually once is fine, but being me, I would like to repeat the same process again. So I like to do this thing twice, so I'm double sure that there's no stones in my rice, because I'm telling you, it doesn't taste good when you're eating rice and you're biting into stones. It's just gonna spoil the whole mood of the rice. So I like to do this twice so that I'm very sure that there's no more stones in the rice. By the time I finish washing my rice, my water is boiling already, so I'm going to go ahead and add my rice. I'll give it a stir, and then I'll check my seasoning again, and I'll add some more salt. I'll let my rice cook, and I'll stir occasionally so it doesn't stick to the bottom. This rice is very dry and needs a lot of water. So averagely, the water you use for your normal jasmine rice, you need to add more to cook this rice because it's very dry and it's very hard. If you have any comments, suggestions, anything you want to ask me, drop me a DM on my Instagram at Lami Cooks or on my Facebook at Lami Cooks. You can see my rice has absorbed most of the water and it's just a little bit left. So at this stage, I'm going to cover it and lower the heat. You know me with a very low heat when I'm cooking rice because I don't like it to burn. So cover it and then give it a very low heat. After 10 minutes, I'm going to check my rice to see how it's doing and the flavors and the peanut oil, the Dawadawa. My whole house smells like Dawadawa. Yes, it tastes so good. You know, Dawadawa tastes so good in food anyways. So I'll check, and I think I need a little bit more time because the rice, I can still feel a little resistance in there. So I would cover it and let it cook for another 5 to 10 minutes. It's been about 7 minutes, so let me check my rice, and oh my, yes, I can see straight away that it's done. But let me give it a stir and properly check. Guys, you need to try this recipe. If you're in Ghana, you need to try this because you can get the rice. If you are not in Ghana, unfortunately, you can still use the same process with your normal regular brown rice. My chinkaafa is ready. Give this recipe a try. I served it here with my Waakye stew, which has some wele and some Wagashie. If you want to know how I made that Waakye stew, it's here on my channel. I'll link it in the description box below or somewhere up here in the video. Thank you so much for watching till now. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to this channel. Until I come your way with my next yummy-licious recipe, take very good care of yourselves. Bye.